Hello, this is Arturelia Film Room Reviews. I'm Arturo, and today I'll be reviewing The Rocketeer was something I never heard about. My mom watched it, and then when she finally introduced it to me, well, what do I think about The Rocketeer? It's a Disney film, came out from the 90s, during the glory days of Disney films. But what do I think of this film that flew past the radar, that most people probably don't know of? Well, that's why you're here. Today I'll be reviewing this 1990s Disney film, set during a historical time that obviously interests me. Let's go. When a group of mob gangsters steal a weapon, it ends up in the hands of Cliff and his friend Peavy, or Peavy, if I'm pronouncing it right. They test it out, though of how strong and awesome the jetpack is, they got themselves thrown into the mafia along with a spy that is in the country looking for the weapon. Though Cliff has a relationship with a girl, her name is Jenny, but she too also gets thrown into a situation with him, and he must save her. He would do anything to stop the spy and get Jenny back. Now, the character Cliff seems to be the adventurous type. And when he finds this jetpack, he really is interested in it and he wants to know how it works. When he does find out how it works, well, that's how the story begins with him. Cliff is also a pilot who's going to be doing the finals with his airplane until it gets destroyed, while his friend seems like a father figure, or just close friends. However, the Peavy also helps him out when it comes to testing out the jetpack, and even messing around with it, or just seeing how the thing works, or what powers it. Jenny is a damsel in distress sort of deal, yeah. She's also an actress starring in a film with the spy. And the spy, don't want to give much away about him, but yeah, he's sinister. The soundtrack seems more like an adventurous type theme in the film, but not to mention it's Disney, so they're going to have some good music. The film has that early 90s look to it, but still looks good, to be honest. Yes, it's old in some scenes with him flying around, yeah, but overall it's not a bad looking film. As for my enjoyment, well, I can say I really enjoyed this film, to be honest. It was around the time where we lost our first pet, so we were still recovering from that. But when I watched it, this made me feel, excited and happy again. I don't know, just something about this film. The acting was, yes, pretty good. I believe Disney did a good job on this one. This was right after The Little Mermaid and before Lion King and Toy Story, and a film that has a period that is interesting to me. This is a really, really fun film. The Rocketeer was something that I never heard of, and most of you probably have not, but I can say this was actually a really good film. I found it enjoyable. I did like that adventurous look to it. That's what kind of brought me into this film. And it was a fun ride. It's set during a real time in history, and I can say I liked it. It was fun. And the characters you might find interesting. And yeah, it was fun from beginning to end. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I would definitely check it out. Well, I can say that I can't really recommend something that's similar to this in Disney form. Probably the one thing I could say that kind of relates to an adventurous type film would probably be Indiana Jones, the series in general. Or The Mummy, if you want that historical time, or those historical films that are adventurous and action-packed. Well, this is Arturelia Film Room Reviews, signing off.